Hello, my name is Celso del Castillo Rodriguez. This is my presentation about the statement of financial position report, pre-professional internship 1. Brief financial analysis 2023 bis 2022. The statement of financial position shows that the financial condition of the regional government of Loreto, education that del Marañón, weakened in 2023 compared with 2022. Key findings. Total assets decreased from 89.54 million to 75.71 million, indicating a reduction in overall resources available to the entities. Current assets fell significantly from 50.01 million to 27.68 million, suggesting lower liquidity and fewer short-term resources available for operation. Non-current assets increased from 39.53 million to 47.83 million, mainly reflecting higher investment in long-term assets such as property and equipment. Total liabilities increased from 30.76 million to 41.35 million, showing a rise in financial obligation and commitment. Total equity declined sharply from 55.98 million to 26.24 million, largely due to negative accumulated results. Conclusion. The organization experienced a decline in financial strength during 2023, although investment in long-term assets increased. The reduction in liquid assets and the increase in liability resulted in lower equity and weaker overall financial position. Brief financial analysis 2023 bis 2022. The statement of financial performance indicates that the regional government of Loreto, education that del Marañón, experienced a slight improvement in operation performance in 2023 compared with 2022, although both years recorded a deficit. Key findings: total revenues increased from 129.69 million in 2022 to 149.06 million in 2023, an increase of approximately 14.9%. Revenue growth was mainly driven by higher grants and non-reimbursable transfers, indicating strong government funding and external support. Total expenses also increased, rising from 140.24 million in 2022 to 159.44 million in 2022. The largest expense category continued to be personnel cost, followed by cost of goods and service, which presents the main operating expenditures of the entity. Speaking revenues, expenses remained greater than income, resulting in the net deficit in both years. The net deficit improved slightly, decreased from approximately 10.54 million in 2022 to 10.38 million in 2022. Conclusion: although the entity generated higher revenues in 2023, operating expenses also increased significantly. The institution still report a deficit, but the smaller negative result suggests a modest improvement in financial performance compared with the previous years. Brief financial analysis 2025 vs 2024. The statement of financial position indicates that the financial condition of the regional government of Loreto, Education de Atenas Marañón, deteriorated in 2025 compared with 2024. Key finding: total assets decreased from approximately 41.47 million in 2024 to 35.13 million in 2025, representing a reduction in available economic resources. Non-recurring assets declined from 41 to 21 million to 34 to 43 million, mainly due to reductions in property, plant and equipment values. Total liabilities increased from 37 to 63 million to 40 to 47 million, showing an increase in financial obligation. Current liability decreased from 37 to 60 million to 22 to 14 million, which may indicate settlement of short-term obligation. However, non-current liabilities increased significantly from nearly zero to 18.33 million, suggesting that obligation may have shifted from short-term to long-term debt. Total equity worsened considerable, moving from 3.80 million and 2024 to negative 5.67 million in 2025. Conclusion: the entity experienced a worse financial position in 2025, although short-term liabilities decreased. The increase in long-term obligation combined with declining assets results in negative equity, indicating financial stress and reduced financial sustainability. Brief Financial Analysis 2025 vs 2024. The statement of financial performance shows an improvement in the financial results of the regional government of Loreto Education that determined in 2025 compared with 2024. Key findings. Total revenues increased from 165.01 million in 2024 to 183.46 million in 2025, representing an increase of approximately 11.2%. The increase was mainly driven by higher grants and non-reimbursable transfers and significant rise in donation and transfer received, indicating stronger external funding support. Total expenses also increased from 30.14 million to 33.56 million, showing higher operational and administrative costs. The largest expense categories remain personnel costs, cost of the goods and service, other operation expenses. Despite the rise in expenses, revenues grew at a faster rate than costs, resulting in a stronger financial outcome. The net result for the period surplus increased from 134.87 million in 2024 to 149.19 million in 2025. Conclusion. The entity demonstrates better financial performance in 2025, supported by stronger revenue growth that exceeded the increase in expenses. The higher surplus surges improved operational results and stronger financial capacity during the period. Thank you very much for your attention.